Everyone is talking about Bitcoin hitting 71K again, but almost nobody is talking about why that actually matters long term. Something just happened that could quietly change how Bitcoin is used in the real world. And if you're paying attention, this is way bigger than a price move. Right now, there are reports that ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most important oil routes on the planet, may be required to pay transit fees using crypto, including Bitcoin. If you're just looking at this as a headline, you're missing the bigger picture. This isn't about one country experimenting with payments. It's about what happens when the traditional financial system stops working smoothly. Think about it. The Strait of Hormuz controls a massive portion of global oil flow. When tensions rise there, everything gets disrupted. Oil, shipping, global markets, everything. Now add sanctions on top of that, limited access to banking systems and restrictions on dollar-based payments. So what's the alternative? You use something that doesn't rely on banks and can't be blocked. That's where Bitcoin comes in, not as an investment or a hedge, but as a tool. And that's the shift most people aren't seeing yet. For years, the narrative has been that Bitcoin might be useful one day, but situations like this force that use case into reality. Now, to be clear, this isn't fully scaled yet, and there's still debate around how much Bitcoin is actually being used versus stablecoins or other methods, but that's not the important part. The important part is that in a high-pressure environment, Bitcoin is even being considered as a solution. That tells you where things are heading, because once something works in a crisis, it tends to stick. Now zoom out even further. What happens if more regions start doing this? And what happens if crypto becomes a fallback system for global trade under pressure? You're no longer talking about speculation. You're talking about infrastructure. And that's where most people are still behind. They're focused on price instead of what's being built underneath. That's part of the reason we've been mentioning Bitcoin hyper. Not financial advice, but it keeps coming up because it's focused on improving how Bitcoin actually functions as usage increases. From what I've seen looking through the white paper and site, it's designed to improve speed, scalability, and usability, basically making Bitcoin more practical if it starts getting used in real-world scenarios like this. Because here's the reality, if Bitcoin demand increases from situations like this, the base layer alone may not be enough. That's where supporting infrastructure comes in. And Bitcoin Hyper has already been getting attention across major platforms like Bitcoin.com, Bitcoin Magazine, 99 Bitcoins, CoinMarketCap, and others, which usually signals growing awareness. Right now it's still early, sitting around $0.013678 and gradually climbing, and with early-stage projects, timing tends to matter more than anything else. Now, of course, there's risk. You can lose everything, so always do your own research. But if you're navigating markets like this, how you operate matters. Because when things shift from normal conditions to crisis-driven movement, speed and flexibility become advantages. Personally, I prefer using Solana when possible because it's faster and cheaper, while Ethereum is still a solid option but can be slower due to fees. And using something like the Best Wallet app just makes the process smoother, letting you manage assets, move across chains, and react without unnecessary friction. And when opportunities show up unexpectedly, that matters more than people think. Bringing it all together, this isn't just a story about Iran, it's a preview. A preview of what happens when global systems get stressed and alternatives start getting used in real time. Bitcoin isn't just being talked about anymore, it's being tested, and the projects that evolve with that shift are the ones that will matter most. If you want more breakdowns like this, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We'll be back with more soon.